Welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 72. How is your day going so far?
It's a good day. It's always good when we can do the podcast earlier than normal. Which, now it's kind of later because we were supposed to do it yesterday. But it's early in the day today on Thursday, and we're getting this podcast out, which is a good feeling. It feels like, in a way, it's like, oh, you're ahead of things because it's early in the day.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, no, I wish we could do it during the day, a lot more, obviously, but I'm at work most of the time, so we take advantage of the days that I have off as best we can. And the reason that I'm off today is, I'm not going to lie, I'm actually super tired. So if my energy seems a little lower than normal during this episode, my bad, but I've been up since 4:30. I couldn't sleep very well, and, it's just one of those things. I couldn't sleep very well, so woke up a little bit earlier than I needed to, but drove an hour to Seadrift to where Chance works, and we ended up doing, I guess, like a little luncheon. They hit like 1 million man hours safe or something like that. I don't know exactly what the actual reason was, but we did a little luncheon. We cooked 10 turkey breasts. We cooked, over 100 pieces of country pork ribs. We did poppers, sausage, and then a bunch of other people kind of did like a potluck where someone brought, macaroni, somebody brought potato salad. Yeah, it was just like they brought the sides, we did the proteins. So I got out there at 6:30 and, cooked pretty much right up until the time that everyone was ready to eat. And then it's turkey breast, right? So I was slicing it. Not to order, but I was slicing it and like putting it in a tray. They were serving it, slicing it, putting it in a tray, serving it. So it was, it was a hectic day for sure. And I'm definitely tired, but that's also why we weren't able to do the podcast yesterday because I had to load the trailer. We have a 10-foot trailer that's pretty good for stuff like this. It has a winch on it, so I can just pull the Outlaw up, and we put the Weber Searwood XL on there. And, Chance's work has a pit, but, I didn't know what it was like. I didn't really want to do the turkey breasts on it. I felt comfortable doing it on the Outlaw. And so it was just one of those things where, especially in a situation like that where you're serving people, you want to be on your pit, or you want to feel comfortable, or you want to kind of, have things going your way. So I definitely needed to take my stuff out there, but we had to get everything ready and take it out there. So that's the biggest thing.
Now I'm curious because normally when people have these kind of cookouts for their work, everybody expects brisket, everybody expects ribs or chicken. Now we did two of the what I feel like are popular barbecue items for us right now: turkey breast, country style ribs. Yeah, very underrated, both of them. I feel. So I'm curious, what was the feedback you got on specifically on those two items?
Yeah, the feedback was great. It's pretty cool how people will come up to you and they will tell you how much they enjoyed it, which is always a great feeling. So, had plenty of, so what I did with the turkey breasts was didn't brine them at all. A lot of people, so we do a lot of turkey breast shorts now. And it's kind of funny. The other day I had somebody comment and they're like, dude, you are the reason more people are wanting to do turkey breast now, which is, I don't agree with, right? I think that there's probably other people that make others want to smoke turkey breast, but at least across social media, from what I've seen, I do feel like we probably smoke a little bit more turkey breast than normal people. So I did, even though that's a very humbling statement, I don't fully agree. I'm not going to ever take credit for anything like that, but I will say that we do. Okay, so we cooked 10 today, and then we did one earlier this week, and then we have another one that we're going to be cooking here soon too, because I have another idea. So we are consistently cooking turkey breasts, and it's just one of those things where I feel like I don't want to say it's almost impossible to mess them up, but if you got a good clean smoke, you got a good flavor on them, you take them to whatever temperature you want to take them to, rest them in butter, they are going to be good.
They're pretty foolproof.
They're foolproof as heck. I feel like there's no other way to do them, right? I don't know how like a barbecue restaurant is doing them, but I'm pretty sure that they probably follow something very similar to that. Take them to not 165. They're taking them to. Okay, so I guess I don't know, but I'll tell you this much. And sometimes it's hard to admit it on social media because people will freak out. I take turkey breast to 148. I take turkey breast to 148 and I instantly wrap it in foil with butter. And I promise you, it's going to be fully cooked and it is going to be so good. The thing is, when you're cooking a turkey breast like that, you know, you still get your smoke ring and then you still see the white meat there as well. And again, fully cooked, hot to the touch. It hurts to touch it. Like today, I was slicing the turkey breast and I had my hand on top of it with a glove, with a nitrile, and it was hurting to touch. So that's the way I cook them. 148, yank them. Now, you also have to remember, today I had 10 of them in one Cambro. So that's heat from 10 different turkeys. In all honesty, they probably kept cooking a little bit.
Right.
Because I didn't pull them all off at the same time. I think there was maybe like 3 that were lagging behind a little bit, but literally I pulled off 7 at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and they were, 148, 151, 152, 147, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whatever. But they were 7 of them at the same time that went in that Cambro, and I guarantee you they kept cooking because all of the residual heat, especially in the Cambro, it's an insulated warmer. And yeah, so, to kind of go back to it, yeah, we had a lot of people, and it's kind of funny. I didn't even tell Chance this. The first time he's going to hear it is here. I did hear somebody say, like, man, turkey breast is always dry. I heard them say that. Like, they were expecting it to be dry. Now, I did not get feedback after from that person because I looked up and I saw who it was. But I can almost guarantee you when they took a bite, they did not think that was dry because, there was a gentleman, one of Chance's coworkers, and he kind of came back in the lunchroom and I was like, hey, you want more? Like, we have more? He's like, heck yeah, I'll take more. And I gave him, a couple of slices on my hand and he put it on a plate or whatever. And he was eating. He's like, dude, like, this is so tender and juicy. Like, how are you doing it? And then even Chance's manager, she was like, I legitimately did not think I was going to like this. Like, I was expecting this to be like super underwhelming, not very good. I used that base and trifecta on it. I mean, tried and true. It's going to be amazing every single time. Trifecta is the multi-purpose blend that I like to call it, the multi-purpose blend. And that base is just salt, pepper, garlic based, right? There's a little bit of sugar in there. There's some other stuff in there, but it's a base layer. So you have your saltiness, you have your onion, you have your garlic, and then you have your barbecue flavor right on top. And it was just such a simple cook. If you don't feel comfortable with 148, try 152. 155. I would not go past 155. I feel very strongly about that because you're putting a hot piece of meat into foil and wrapping it in butter. So residual heat's going to continue to cook it anyway inside of that foil. But yeah, it was very, very cool to see a bunch of people really enjoyed the turkey. And
I love that, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if any of them follow Gulf Coast Smoke on social media, but I love the idea of serving them those turkey breasts, and they're cooked exactly the way we do on social media.
Yeah.
On all the reels. So it's like, okay, if you want to go and look at what we're doing and making these turkey breasts, that's exactly how, like what you just ate, that's exactly how we did it.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's just kind of, it's proof that the method works.
For sure.
And yeah, I think most people, that's why I love the idea of like the turkey breasts and the country style ribs, because they are very underrated barbecue items.
Yeah.
And I do think most people are going to assume that it's going to be dry, but the key, it truly is to pull it at that temp and then let it carry over in the foil. And we've never had any issues with there being blood in the turkey or anything like that. Right. No, it's cooked perfectly, and it's
no lie. I've pulled them at 155 before, and they've been overcooked.
They've been dry. Yeah.
100%. Like this is in the past. This isn't recently.
For sure.
And that's why we make these adjustments, right? Because I talk about the evolution. I talk about the evolution of barbecue in general when we've been a part of the barbecue community, and it's one of those things where we've learned a lot too. We've learned a lot. Like, for example, country style ribs, they are cut out of the pork butt. They're cut out of the pork butt, okay? At least here in South Texas where we eat them. So I've had this comment more than once that those are not cut out of the pork butt. They're cut out of, I don't even remember where people say they're cut out of. But here in South Texas, the country style ribs are cut out of a pork butt.
Who would have thought that'd be such a controversial thing?
Yeah, I never thought that would even be a thing. But I know a lot of meat market owners very, very well. I have confirmed that they cut it out of a pork butt. Like those country style ribs in South Texas come out of a pork butt. So it's quite literally strips cut out of a pork butt. They're about 1 inch by 1 inch, and they're maybe like 6 inches long. And that's a typical, 4 to 6 inches. But it's like you can do so much with that. But even though it's a pork butt, it's part of the pork butt. I would never take them to 210 like I do a pork shoulder. I take them closer to 195. I like them to have a little bit of a bite. They're still going to be plenty tender.
Yeah.
It's just it's the evolution of understanding barbecue as time goes on for us.
Well, it's like the same thing with pork steaks. Most pork steaks are going to be cut out of the butt too, and it's like you have 3 different applications of a pork butt, but you're not going to cook them all the same way. You're going to cook them all
we take those to like 185.
Right.
185, 187. And we recently did those at Tuttle's, and they were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They were incredible. So it's one of those things where, like a money muscle, for example. I don't take that to 210 either.
Right.
There's just so many different ways that you can, and that's all just talking about a pork butt.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a really cool, kind of, like I said, it's just a really cool thing because I feel like a lot of people, like you said, they're underrated. They don't really think to cook a turkey breast. But, and I've kind of mentioned it before, my goal is to get more people cooking turkey breast because I love it. I really, truly love it.
For sure.
We'll talk a little bit more about the recipe that we dropped yesterday. If you're watching this on Friday, we dropped it on Thursday in short form. And that was the best turkey breast we've ever made.
Absolutely.
And it's like hands down the best one we've ever made. And I almost, so in the intro to that reel, I said, something along the lines of like buffalo lemon pepper turkey breast or hot lemon pepper turkey breast. This hot lemon pepper turkey breast is the best that I've ever had. And it's like, you guys probably are like, okay, here we go. Another best thing you've ever made. But again, the evolution of us getting better, of us thinking of new things. Man, it was so good.
So good.
So good. So, yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit just to kind of wrap up on the event that we had in Seadrift. It was a success. The people loved it. I was telling Chance as we were cooking, he wanted to make sure everybody really enjoyed it. And I said, look, bro, there's probably going to be a lot of people that really enjoy this. And there's probably going to be a few that just don't like it. That's part of it. I would love for everybody 100% to love it. I just don't think that's possible. You feed something to 100 people, one of them in their head is going to think, that was okay. I didn't really like that. I wanted something sweeter. I wanted something more salty. I wanted something with more pepper. I wanted this. I wanted that. Whatever. And that is all okay. You got to look at percentages, right? For example, like in math class, if you get a 95%, you still did pretty dang good, right? You missed 5% of the questions, but, it is what it is. And so it was a quality thing, and it was a good success, and it was a lot of fun too. I mean, I love doing stuff like that. It's kind of like we've talked about recently, or I don't even know if we talked about this, like what we want to do with the backyard classes. Have we talked about that on the podcast?
I don't know. I know we've mentioned that we would love to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we've really gone into detail about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to kind of quickly, branch off of that, one of Sabrina and I's ideas is creating a mission statement. And the mission statement is going to be around bringing people together through barbecue. And we plan on doing that by teaching people how to cook backyard proteins, turkey breast, chicken, wings, poppers, steaks, picanha, whatever it is, right? And country style ribs. Whatever it is, we plan on holding classes where we can do that and holding them at a very low price. We're talking $25 or $50. We haven't figured out logistics of it. We're still in the process of figuring out a mission statement. But our goal is to bring people together through barbecue. And what we would like to do, and I have to give a major shout out to Lee Hickle. So a couple of weekends back, I did an event with Lee. Not with Lee. I volunteered at Lee's event. And he did what was called a vet together. Like a get together, but for vets. And he was teaching vets how to cook. Chris Davis was there as well. And, they both kind of talked about how they went through their struggles after getting out of the military, and cooking gave them a sense of peace, right? There was a process to it. Of course, the outcome is great and all that stuff. And I went up to Lee straight up and I told him, I said, hey, Lee, my wheels are spinning right now. I got ideas going in this head right now, and I just want you to know that I want to do something like this with all credit to you. And he literally sat there and told me, he's like, of course, do whatever you need to do whatever you want to do. And I was like, I'll tell everybody, and I'm telling everybody right now, whoever's listening, this idea stems from Lee Hickle. It really, truly does. And I just have so much respect for him. Chris Davis, Harry Sue was there. I got to meet Harry Sue, which was really cool. And Harry was teaching people in the coolest way about barbecue and life. And I have a new level of respect for Harry Sue even, right? So he was talking about a seasoning or making like a homemade seasoning, right? And I hope I'm okay to share this. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to, but hopefully I can share this. And he's talking about like, well, you need your salt, you need your sugar, you need your spice, you need your this, you need your that. And it's kind of sort of like life, right? So you have your different things that you put into life. If you take one of them out, man, that seasoning doesn't taste that good. For example, you take care of your body, you take care of your mind, you take care of your religion, whatever that may be. Us, we're Christians, right? But it was just so cool to see and hear people teach about barbecue and life. And I don't necessarily want to teach people about life because I don't think that I have what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure if I'm the person to be teaching people about life. I don't know if I have that in me. It's not that I don't have it in me, but I mean, who am I really to tell people, right? That's genuinely the way I feel, at least as of right now. But I do think that what they did that day was incredible, and I was very, very proud to be there, and I was super proud of what Lee was doing. And, I a couple of months back, I told you already, and I think I've talked about it here on the podcast, I gained so much respect for Lee, not because of this, it's because of a private matter, and he personally picked up the phone and called me and talked to me and, gave me some really, really good advice, which I'll always appreciate. And then seeing him do this, yeah, I mean, it was pretty dang cool. So anyway, what we want to do is we want to hold these backyard classes, $25, $50, and we are not going to take a cent of that. We're going to roll that into a scholarship fund for kids that want to attend culinary school, because bringing people together with food is exactly what Sabrina and I love to do, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say every single day I want to serve 150 people. I would go and open a restaurant if we wanted to do that. But doing these videos and giving people confidence to go and cook for their family is very, very, very fulfilling. Now, I understand that sounds a little selfish, right? That's fulfilling for me. But I also love when people gain that confidence to get out and do something fun, something that we love, right? And that's why I always encourage people, man, create a product, do a class. Don't be afraid to start a business, because how the heck are you going to know? I mean, literally, not even to be dumb, the podcast mic I'm speaking into right now, a Shure mic. Who thought of Shure? Who thought of Rode? Who thought of Sony, the cameras? Like, every single idea company starts with an idea, right? And who's to say that yours isn't going to be the next big thing? Who's to say that we couldn't be a household seasoning name in 10 years? That, hey, I've got to have that seasoning in my house, just the way everybody looks at Uncle Chris's, or everybody looks at what's it, the seasonal? No, what is it?
Lowry's.
Lowry's.
Yeah.
Just like those. Or Kraft barbecue sauce, Sweet Baby Ray's, something. I'm not saying you have to love that, but those are such popular items. Who's to say we couldn't have one? I refuse to believe that we can't. So being able to teach people about barbecue, and the one thing I'll say is, you have people that you can just tell, and there's nothing wrong with it. They just don't know. We cook all the time. We have learned, and we're getting better. There's still a lot we don't know and don't understand, but there's a lot of people that don't even know 5% of what we know. And teaching them that would be an amazing thing to do. And like I said, yes, it is partly fulfillment for us, but it's also giving back to our community. And it's also giving an opportunity to a young kid that wants to attend culinary school and wants to cook for a living, whether they want to be a private chef or own a restaurant or do YouTube videos like us, whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So that's one of Sabrina and I's our major goals. We want to do one this year, but I'll tell you what, this year, the rest of this year is looking so busy, it's not even funny. So we announced a class, one more competition class that you guys can go sign up for at GulfCoastSmoke.com. We have to go to Mississippi. We have to go to Georgia. And we have a few competitions in between that we want to do. We want to do this class as well. It's just going to be hard for us to do some stuff. We want to do the free barbecue competition on YouTube. We have plans and ideas of some YouTube videos we want to do. We want to go hit more restaurants. I just, realistically, yesterday I was thinking about it. We need to get to the point where we can do this full time. It's just the way that it is. But that being said, I'm so grateful for where we are right now. I'm grateful I have such an amazing job, and I'm grateful that, we are continuing to grow. So, yeah, I know that was really loaded, right? I just kind of got into it. I guess I'm not tired, right? But no, I mean, I have, I was talking to, I told you about this, and I won't go into it too much, but I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and they were like, man, I love seeing you with that passion. And they were like, when are you going to do it full time? When are you going to do this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I can't answer that question, but I feel like if the timing was right, it would have already happened. But that being said, the amount of conviction I have towards this is, I hope you guys can feel it, when you're listening, when you're watching. That's another goal of mine, is for me to give you guys the smallest amount of confidence that you can do whatever you want. And I'm nobody special. Sabrina's very special to me, but reality is she's nobody special, right? I mean, like, she's special to me, but like, she's just another human being that believed in her husband and is willing to work hard. That's
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not Superwoman. It's just like you can't.
Well, it's like there's an episode of Bluey that gives a really good example of like the little girl Muffin with a little dog. And her dad tells her she's special, so she thinks she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
But then he has to tell her, like, the reality is, like, you're special to me.
Yeah.
But not to the rest of the world.
Well, yeah, it's like, I think I might have even told, like, I might have even told the girls this one time. Because I tell them all the time, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. But, one of these days, some mean person might tell you that you're not. That's just life, right?
Right.
And it stinks, and it's not nice, and it's not fun to hear. But everybody in this room, like, we're all within a 10-foot radius, me, you, and the kids, are the most special people in the world to me. That doesn't mean it's like that for everybody else.
Yeah.
That being said, I want you guys to really, truly believe it in your heart that you can do whatever you want to do. Even if you want to get a corporate job and be a CEO, you can do that too. Promise you can. The level of conviction that I have for this is something that I literally don't know how to stop it, right? I found what I want to do. Once you find what you want to do, you will know, and you will not give up until you get it. Truly believe that.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it doesn't happen is if you quit.
Give up. Yeah, right. I mean, that's I tell people all the time. They're like, "Oh, when are you gonna make it?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm going to."
Yeah.
I even put a post on Facebook yesterday because I saw something where somebody said, what did they post on there? And I was like, oh, oh, it was like one of these days, you and your kids are going to have, you and your kids and your family are going to have everything you want, and all those hard days aren't going to mean anything. And I shared it, and I commented, or I like replied, and I was like, I disagree. They're going to mean everything. They're going to mean everything. Right. They're going to mean that all those hard times were part of the process. They are part of our path. They are part of just who we are, and that is completely okay. It's okay that we're not where we want to be right now. I mean, technically I am where I want to be right now. I'm with you guys, right? So like that's all that it is. So anyway, the event today was really good. We hope to put on a backyard barbecue class this year. If that interests you at all, or if you think like it's something you want to be involved in, man, let us know. I've already reached out to one of our sponsors. I won't say who, and I think we're going to get some help there on a possibility. Well, I think we're possibly going to get some help there and make this something really, really cool for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. That's something that I really want to do this year, and I'm pushing, but we do have some stuff that we've got to do. So that being said, it's already almost 30 minutes into the podcast. We haven't talked about anything else. So let's talk about the video from this week. What was our video this week? Our long-form video this week. Yeah, also, why did we not do a video last week?
Right, so, oh gosh, why did we not do a video last week?
Competition.
Oh, right. So we were trying to get ready to go to El Campo.
Yeah, and real quick, I want you to talk about this more. I will say this, getting an RV is a lot more work than you would think. Like, it's not. It makes everything so much easier, but like the preparation is a lot it's a lot more. So anyway, but we missed because of El Campo. Go ahead.
Right. So, and we've talked about this before. When you're getting ready for a competition, it's almost like a week's worth of stuff in advance. We've gotten better over time about it, but yeah, adding the RV into the mix is kind of like starting from scratch again. We have to find our rhythm all over again. And so we have to make sure that things are clean. We have to make sure that, because one of the things that we forgot to do, or I forgot to do on our very first time using the RV, was putting like the liquid in the toilet. Yeah. So like during the time that the trailer wasn't in use, we had flies that were like that dead in the toilet bowl, right? So it's like we got to clean all of that. And these are things that we're kind of slowly learning, okay, I need to remember this.
And I forgot to turn off the battery disconnect. So our solar panel was, it was like, I kept it going. Oh yeah. I kept
luckily that wasn't the whole time not in use.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I accidentally left the battery disconnect on. The freezer was still super frozen, and then we finally were like, "Oh snap, we need to go." So then we had to go, and then we had to go back a day later to get the towel out that was fully wet and clean the inside. Like, dude, it's just there's a lot, and we're learning, but it's just part of the process.
Yeah. So that was for a couple days there. We were like, okay, well, we need to go do the podcast, but we also need to get this ready because we wanted to leave very, very early on Friday morning to go to El Campo, because the idea was we wanted to make sure we were all set up. We had somebody come to do a shadow class. We knew that Penny was going to do the kids' queue. So we wanted to make sure we had enough time. We did miss out on the video last week and the podcast last week. But let's go into El Campo. How the cook went. I will say El Campo is one of those ones, we did it 2 years back. I think we only walked away with like a 10-place brisket. But that cook-off is really, really cool. It's such a cool place. And I remember like Friday night, Penny did her kids' Q steak. Your dad made burgers and dogs. And we're just sitting out there, and it's just like one of the most beautiful, peaceful things, right? Mm-hmm. Like it. So even if you don't go there for a competition, it's worth going there if you have an RV, or they have the little houses too. But just a really, really cool place to go to for a small family vacation for sure.
No, I completely agree. And it's one of those things where the RV has given us that luxury of Friday night, hanging out, making the food, a little bit of, congregation and hanging out. And it's just so much fun. And then, we just really enjoy having the trailer. It just makes everything so much easier, so much better. And man, I just, I'm just really glad that we got it, because it has changed everything everything for us because, man, that little trailer was just now looking back, it's like, dude, this just wasn't it. It just wasn't it for us, and we needed this. So it's was a great event. Going into Saturday, it was one of those things where you and I talk about it a lot. We might not be competing as much as we used to, but we still cook so much.
All the time, yeah.
So much. I mean, we're cooking 5 days a week. So I feel like we're really always in the zone. I'm not worried about the cook. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried that something's not going to turn out good or whatever. And so I was very confident going into the cook, and I really, really felt that we had a chance, just like every single event. I mean, we turned in, I thought, the best chicken we've turned in a long time, and that's because the last 6 events or 5 events prior, we'd walked in chicken.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I thought this chicken, something about the flavor of it overall was
just a little bit better.
A little bit better.
Yeah. And you know, it was just so good. It was just such good chicken. And when I feel like the chicken is good, I feel like, okay, well, let's just settle in and let the rest of this play out. The ribs were incredible. The pork was immaculate, and the brisket and the burnt ends were amazing. We did exactly what we wanted to do. And I can sincerely, from the bottom of my heart and soul, say that the last 4 events, I feel like we've done exactly what we wanted to do. I don't feel like, oh, man, that wasn't good, or oh, man, this, or oh, man, that. I genuinely felt like it was just such a solid cook. Now, the one out of all of them that I did feel like was the best, quote, was our pork. I felt like the pulled pork was just so good. And the money mussels were so good. And it's one of those things where we talk about it beforehand. Hey, we're only turning in money mussels. We're only turning in money mussels. And then you taste the pulled pork and you're like, dude, how do you not turn that in?
Right.
It is so good. Like, how do you not turn that in? So we asked Chance and we asked Danielle. They came out and hung out. And then we actually also asked Steven, the guy that was taking the shadow class with us, like, man, what do you think? And he was like, oh, dude, that's good. And Chance and Danielle said, oh, that's good. So we're like, Sabrina and I think we already knew we were going to do it, but we were looking for confirmation. And so everyone was like, dude, that pulled pork is fire. And so we're like, all right, we'll put it down the middle. Put it down the middle, put 2 rows of monies on the outside. And I just knew that box was going to hit. I just knew it because you just know. But, I say you know, but I felt the same way about chicken, ribs, and brisket. And even if none of them hit, I'm like, okay, if they don't walk, they're going to be inside the top 20. Right. And I felt, this is a 100-team comp almost. So inside the top 20 is really good. And we still have a chance. If we get one good walk and everything else inside the top 20, we still got a good shot at this. And so anyway, we go through the whole cook. We go to awards, and we end up not getting a chicken call. And I turned around, and I was like, let's go. You were on the other side of the pool, or in the kiddie pool with the kids. And then I turned around and I was like, okay, like we've been getting so many chicken calls. I'm like, okay, we didn't get a chicken call this time. Watch. This was
my mindset as well.
This is going to be good for us.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay, here come the others.
Yeah. Like finally, like I'm okay if we don't get a chicken call right now because it's about to get good for everything else.
For sure.
Right.
I agree. And then so ribs go all the way 10-1, nothing. But then Sabrina and I were kind of like, I went and talked to her, like, there's no way they bombed. They were both so good, there's no way they bombed. Okay, pork comes along, 5th place pork, boom. Okay, all right, and now we're feeling pretty good because we don't feel like chicken and ribs bombed. They were so good. Everybody that had the ribs was just, dude, these are fire, blah, 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 whatever.
And then I thought brisket was excellent.
Our slice has been our burnt ends have been good. I feel like our slice has been even better.
Yeah.
And, I really, truly stand by that. But no brisket call either. So we're like, okay, it's all good. It's all good. We still have a chance here because nothing bombed. We know nothing bombed.
And in a group that large, you don't know. If somebody got like 3 calls, maybe even 4 calls, then okay, that person's up there. But for everything else, every other placing 2nd through 10th overall, it's anybody's game because you just don't know where they fell on those calls that they didn't get a call. You know what I mean? I mean, you could get one call and still reserve the whole thing.
For sure.
With groups that big.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, Steve-O, they had 2 calls and they reserved, so you're spot on there. But so we're still thinking like, man, we did not bomb anything, so we should be all good to go. And I still think we have a really good chance at getting a top 10, maybe even a top 5, because we had a good pork call and we didn't feel like anything was bad. So we got no top 10, no top 5. Obviously didn't win it or reserve it, but so we were like, man, what happened here? Well, we ended up 14th overall, but with a 67th chicken. We're like, wow, that's
way off.
Way up there. Like, even in our bad chicken days, we didn't do that bad.
Right.
You know, even in our bad chicken days, we did not do that bad. So that was
it's been a while since we got that bad of a chicken call.
For sure. And so it's a major blow for sure. But, man, I mean, I don't know what else to say besides it just happens. Stuff just happens. So we ended up getting 14th overall, and it was just a really, really good day. Even though we didn't get exactly what we wanted, it was kind of funny. Sabrina and I drove off, and we're like, it's okay. It is what it is. We'll just try again next time. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to try again next time and live with the results.
Yeah, I was talking to Chance about this because he had asked me, what my overall thoughts were about how we did. And I was telling him, I feel like the past, 5, 6, however many competitions we've done have been some of our most consistent cooks ever. I feel like we've been extremely consistent with our cooks. So it's hard to really say like how I think we're going to do, right? Because I thought we did well last time and the results don't show. I thought we did well the time before. And not even just well, I thought we did some of our best cooking that we've done. So
I will say this though, I want you to finish that thought, but we are consistently walking. We're walking, knock on wood, we're walking at just about every single event. And sometimes we're getting multiple walks in an event. It's not all coming together at once at this very second. But go ahead.
No, for sure. But as far as like, for example, we've been getting walks in chicken, but and then the occasional pork, more than anything.
Yeah, in Gregory we walked in 3 of the 4.
Right, but it's like in our when it comes to like our brisket and our ribs, we haven't got a really good call in a long time. So yeah, it's hard to say like how I think we're going to do right. But I will say with the pork, it really is. First of all, we started out with really, really good quality pork.
Bory.
Right.
Shout out.
And so, but pork is one of those ones specifically where it's not just like you do something in the beginning and then something at the end. Pork is one of those ones where throughout the cook, you're constantly having to take a look at it and say, okay, this looks like this. I'm probably going to have to change it here and then possibly change it at the end.
At least the way we do it.
Right. And so I thought it's always really rewarding to get that pork call because of the adjustments we make throughout the cook. What you start with, although it may look like, oh, that's the perfect one, it might not turn out that way. But by making adjustments, which if you take the class or if you have taken the class, you'll know what I mean by this. We do these little adjustments that
at every point of the cook with pork, we are making an adjustment to it.
Exactly, right? And of course, since pork it's the whole picture, right? It's not just those monies, it's the pulled. So I love that we at least walked away with a call with that because in that specific scenario, we did have changes that we had to make like right there at the end.
Yeah.
And then when you see the end result, you're like, man, that actually looks so good. It tasted so good. And so hopefully the results match it, especially for all the work we put into it. So I was really, really happy with a 5th pork call, especially in such a large group of
strong,
people.
Yeah, and strong.
Oh, yeah. There was people there that, that's the first time we've seen LC in like forever, right?
Yeah, he was traveling the world.
Yeah, but you have a lot of really good cooks there that also didn't walk away with calls.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to kind of look at the bigger picture and not be so upset that like, oh, I didn't get a brisket call, I didn't get a rib call, I didn't get a chicken call. Just
and
kind of look at the bigger picture and appreciate what you did do.
Yeah, and we had a lot of people, and I don't want to talk about the class too much because if you guys want to take it, that's amazing. If you don't, that's completely fine as well. But we had a lot of people coming up and saying, hey, man, your class, can you give me some info on the class? Can you give me some info on the class? I had like 5 people.
Yeah.
And then, I even had somebody's dad come up and ask about the class and like, hey, what if I wanted to go with my son, how? So I'll give you this much, right? And, I've talked about this and I put it on Facebook, on social media, that our goal is to create an affordable class that's going to help you get better at barbecue competitions, at competition barbecue, sorry. But it is very, very important for us to do that. $750 per head cook and $450 for their teammate. I know that sounds like a lot of money. I get it, right? I'm not saying it's not. That being said, this past weekend in El Campo, we hit 1 5th place pork and won $400, right? And that's if you, in 2 contests, you've paid for the class, right? You've paid for the class. And then from there, the point is to take the class, learn from it, adjust, make it your own. And that's what I told, you heard me. On day 1 of the class, I told everybody, hey, taking this recipe and doing it exactly is fine. You can do that. But I challenge you to make it your own. Take what we do, take the parts that you like, adjust them, and make it your own. I challenge you to do it because that's the fun part in this. You and I just ordered all sorts of sauces because we're going to try and do something a little bit different maybe. Maybe. We're not there yet because we still feel really strongly with our food, but we also are not fools and we're not going to keep trying the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So we're looking to maybe make some small adjustments, but that's the fun part of it. We ordered sauces we have never tried in our lives. So we can try them this weekend on some stuff and just have fun with it. But again, if the reason I wanted to bring it up is because, I've gotten so many people asking about it, and then I've gotten it's a lot of money, and it is. I'm not saying it's not, but you got to understand we're giving you everything that we have learned and taught ourselves and learned from others. I mentioned this also. I will proudly say I took LC's class in 2023, and I called him before we decided to do this, and I said, hey, just so you know, I'm interested in doing this because I have a lot of people asking. And he was like, yeah, dude, you've definitely grown into your own cook, and you're doing your own thing now, and, it's completely fine. So, but we got some stuff way in the past that we learned from LC that has helped us become who we are as well. And I think that that's one of the things that you can take from a class. And again, I'm not going to sit here and lobby, and I'm not going to say that you need to take ours or you're never going to be good. That's not at all the truth. You can 100% become a great cook with or without our class. I do think it'll just help a little bit, kind of cut the learning curve. But again, the way to look at it is if you're interested in learning just more about it in general, or if you just feel like you need some minor tweaks, it's a great class to take. And, we want to keep making it affordable, very, very comfortable. We have 3 screens that you can watch what we're doing. We have people pass around. There's a lot to the class. But since I got so many questions, so many people came up, I just wanted to take a quick second to talk about it. We hope to see you guys in November. And if we don't, man, that's completely fine.
Yeah, and so we did put it on the website, so GulfCoastSmoke.com.
Yeah.
And you will be able to sign up and pay or whatever you need to do.
Yeah, you can do the deposit, and then if you want to reach out directly. And that's the other reason why we put it out early, because I had people reach out and say, hey, it is a lot of money. Is there any way that I could do like a payment plan? I'm like, yes. Again, Sabrina and I are not trying to get rich off of this, believe it or not. Maybe I shouldn't even say this. You know this. We sold the class out and didn't even hardly make any money because we invested a lot into making that class really good. So we had to buy a lot of upfront equipment. We got dinner and breakfast taken care of, coffee in between. Everybody has a notebook. Everybody has, Gulf Coast Smoke bags. We gave away a bunch of stuff, and, we're not trying to get rich off of this, and we're not going to. I promise you we're not going to. So it's on the website. You guys can do the down payment, and if you want to reach out directly, you can do a payment plan. But again, if you don't want to, that's completely fine. And If you think it's stupid that we're doing a class, that's also completely fine. But do me a favor and just keep it to yourself, because we've had a couple of people like, why would any grown man want to take a class from somebody? Like, well, that doesn't make too much sense, okay? Like, if somebody wants to go to college to learn a trade, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the same thing. So do me a favor, maybe try and refrain from being rude. I don't do anything wrong to you guys, so just leave it.
I told you this. Like, what's worse, taking a barbecue class or being an a-hole?
Yeah, I mean, for no reason.
Yeah. So
maybe, but either way, so El Campo was fun. The next one we're going to do is next weekend in Ingleside. We'll be right here really close to home. I'm looking forward to that as well. I love the ones that are close. You don't got to do too much. You don't have to rush too much either, but excited, and hopefully we do well.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of moving on, we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but let's talk about our turkey breast that we did just a couple days ago that was released yesterday. And I think you said it before me, but I was like, those are the words that were about to come out of my mouth. It was literally the best one that we've made yet. This was the best one yet. And that's because when we did the lemon pepper one, the one that was just plain lemon pepper, me and Kim both agreed that like that one was up there for us, and we thought that one was the best. Now this one, adding the hot to it, or the buffalo flavor, which it really was not spicy at all. It had the perfect buffalo flavor, but let's get into the recipe and what it was.
Sure. Yeah, so we started with a HEB all-natural turkey breast, which is what we use 100% of the time, especially with our turkey videos. And a lot of people ask in the videos all the time, like, or they say, you always need to brine it, you always need to this. Okay, well, I understand that some people just now found our channel or our page or whatever, but if you look through our turkey breast video, we do them so many different ways.
Right, that's the fun part about it.
Exactly. We'll brine them. We'll no brine them. We'll inject them. We've grilled them. We've done them so many different ways, it's not even funny. But we've stuffed one with boudin before. So we didn't brine this one. Most turkey breasts that you get from a store are going to come in a solution. And it's going to be lemon juice, water, salt, something along those lines. You can literally see it on the package. So a lot of people feel like you need to brine, but they've been sitting in a brine waiting for you to get them. Now, I don't think you can really over brine them by any means, but they are sitting in that solution, and they are still going to be flavorful and tender and juicy. That being said, we did not brine this one. So we went straight over top with our homemade lemon pepper, which we've made on social media plenty of times before. And we went all over top. I threw it onto, what did we cook it on? The Quattro D. We cooked it on the Quattro D. And, I mean, again, I took it to 148, pulled it, and it was just looking so good. What I did was I rested it in one stick of butter with the juice of one lemon and just a bunch of hot sauce. I mean, I hate
a little shake of the lemon pepper.
Yeah, shake more of the lemon pepper. And I hate to say that I don't know how much hot sauce I put. I probably put half a bottle of Killer Hog's hot sauce, which it tastes, in my opinion, very similar to Frank's, but a little bit more vinegary, and I love it. It's like my favorite hot sauce. It's one of my favorite hot sauces of all time, and I've said that for years. But, dude, I'm not exaggerating. What I did was I took the turkey breast out, and then I mixed the sauce and the lemon pepper and the butter, and I just scooped it all over top of the turkey breast. Dude, it's making my mouth water.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so good. It was so good how flavorful it was. What we've been basically doing is making turkey breasts the way that we would like to eat a chicken wing.
Right.
Right? So think about your favorite chicken wing flavor, add that onto a turkey breast, and I almost guarantee you it is going to be completely banging.
Yeah.
Completely banging. So that was, I mean, just go watch the video. I think it looks amazing in the video as well. And man, was just super duper happy with it. I want to do that one again already. It was that good. I took the rest to work, which was a lot.
Yeah.
And the guys at work were like, Timmy quite literally took a bite and he's like, oh my, like you should have seen his face. He's like, oh my gosh, like, dude, this is the best one you've ever done.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just us that thought that. It was also, like my coworker Timmy thought the same. Jojo liked it. Daniel liked it. So it was just a really, really good one. You guys got to try that one out. I mentioned it a second ago. We put it on the Quattro D drum. Now, our long form video this week was how to use a drum smoker in 2025, which we got a comment there. And someone was like, well, the same way to use it in 2024, 1989, 1976. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the reason that we put the 2025 in there is so if people watch it, if people are searching for it, they can see, hey, in 2025. So that's an updated or an up-to-date video.
Well, if this is their first time using a drum smoker and you go onto YouTube and you're like, okay, what's the most recent video that's going to give me the most recent information or the most trendy information on how to do this particular thing, right? So that's the purpose of it because, even me especially, if I'm going to go Google something or YouTube something, I'm going to try and get the most recent thing because, methods change over time.
We talked about evolution.
Exactly. And so, that's one of those comments where it's like, it didn't make me mad. I was like busting out laughing.
Yeah,
but it's just they don't understand what it takes to put out a YouTube video and the things, the tactics and the
SEO.
strategies, that you have to do to make your video clickable for viewers.
Yeah. We're about to end the podcast, but I will say this much, okay? When you're making videos, when you're putting anything on the internet, you have to, even as far as your title, your thumbnail, the caption you put on a reel,
the colors of the font that you're using in your
everything
thumbnail.
matters, and we are still learning this. Everything matters, and I think that that's a good tip for you guys. For example, we've talked about this before on the podcast, but SEO, search engine optimization. If you put a title out there that says how to make the best BBQ in the world, if people are searching how to make the best BBQ in the world, that gives that video an opportunity to be up at the top of the Google page. Okay? Now, there's such thing as Google Ads. People can pay to be up top. So typically the best thing to do is actually go 3 or 4 down and look at that one, because that's not going to be an ad. That's going to be actually SEO,
right,
actually doing its thing. But they do matter.
For sure.
Right? So how to use a drum smoker in 2025. That in 2025 does matter. It does help our video. That video is 1 out of 10 right now. So obviously we made the right title for the time being. The other thing you can do is if you have a video and it's not doing well, change the title. Change the thumbnail. You know where we got that idea from? Dude Perfect. Sabrina and I literally noticed and Mr. Beast. Mm-hmm. Dude Perfect and Mr. Beast do this. So if you guys are looking to get into YouTube, go and search and go and look at Mr. Beast and Dude Perfect on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel. Even if you don't like what they've got going on, whenever they make a new video, look at it. Take a picture of that thumbnail. Take a picture of that title. I would be willing to bet a lot of money if it is not doing what they want it to do numbers-wise, within 12 hours, something has changed. Mm-hmm. Take a picture and you'll see it. So search engine optimization is huge when it comes to YouTube, and that's exactly why sometimes we might make a title that you guys think is silly, or sometimes we might, do something that doesn't make sense to you. For example, a long time ago, we got what was that Weber device called that we got, that little blue one? The Lumen. We got a Weber Lumen, and we titled it, "Is the Weber Lumen better than a pellet grill?" And the reason that we did that was because pellet grill was being very searched at that time. And that video actually popped off. And a bunch of people in the comments are like, what does this video have to do with a pellet grill? And it's like, okay, well, it's not necessarily, but we did try and do a comparison in there. It's not necessarily exactly about a pellet grill, but it's like, is the Lumen better than a pellet grill?
Yeah, they're both
we showed
electric,
you the difference. Yeah, they're both electric cookers. So we tried to talk about that in the video, but sometimes people just don't get it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But Sabrina and I are an open book. I don't mind telling you guys this. It's not, who am I if I just withhold all this information from y'all? If y'all are looking to get better, I think these things will help you get better. Understand that if somebody has a YouTube video title that you may think is a little funky, there's probably a reason for it. There's
right.
For example, ours in 2025, there's a reason for it. We've already made a video about how to use a drum smoker. but we wanted to update it in 2025. So anyway, video is currently 1 out of 10. So again, great job with the title, great job with the thumbnail. Maybe we have to change that in 24 hours. We don't know yet.
Right.
Sabrina and I are consistently looking at it to see what we have to do in order to optimize everything. But yeah, it's just, a little bit of YouTube talk, which I love to do. And it's Sabrina and I have really gotten into it over the past 6 months, 4 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is actually fun. It's frustrating sometimes, but it is actually fun. So if you guys are looking to get into it, there's some tips, I guess.
Yeah, just a little head start for you because, I mean, shoot, how long have we been making YouTube videos? And
5 years.
Right, and right now...
We're barely learning that.
This is the most we've really, dived into our thumbnails, like what we're doing on our thumbnails, what we're doing in our... Which, not that we never put thought in it before, but we're doing the most research into it now than we ever have before. So, yeah, definitely if you're making content... these are things that you're going to have to think about, especially in our day and age. Content is just...
king.
Right, and it's just overflowing. There's so many. Almost every single category or niche is actually saturated. So it's like whatever you can do to make your stuff stand out in a good way. We try not to be too clickbaity or anything like that, but anything you can do to kind of give yourself a little edge is a good thing, and it's going to help you grow.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's a great way to end that topic for sure. That being said, it looks like it's been about an hour on the podcast here. Was there anything else that you had to talk about today, or do you want to let everybody go?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the only other thing which you've already mentioned, we've got our competition coming up this next weekend in Ingleside, and other than that, we're just still trying to push out content. If there's anything you guys want to see, make sure to put it in the comments so that we know. I mean, we do our own research on, like we just said, on what we think our viewers are going to want to see. But the best way to let us know is if you tell us directly. So, yeah, leave a comment on what you want to see next in our YouTube videos.
Absolutely. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, we hit over 75,000 recently. Oh, yeah. We're trying to get to 100,000. Thank you, first off, for 75,000 subscribers. It is an incredible feeling to know that we have grown this platform. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the podcast, I say this with every ounce of seriousness in my voice, in my heart. We never thought we would even get 1,000. I promise. Like, we didn't really know what we were getting into. We started this just by picking up a camera, no mic, no lighting, no anything. This was very, very bad production. And we've grown it into what you guys are seeing now, which is still not what we want fully, but we're getting there day by day by day. So if you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 by the end of the year. And I think we have we have 4 months. I think it's very possible. I think it's going to be hard, but it'd be very possible. So if you guys enjoy what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. If you guys are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, man, share this with a friend. Maybe they like hearing us talk about YouTube, SEO. Maybe they like hearing us talk about competition barbecue or just whatever we talk about. This is all things, everything we do. Our lives are basically focused around barbecue and our seasonings and everything, but we do try and talk about other things as well. So maybe someone...
This is the platform that gives us the chance to do that. Yeah.
For sure, 100%. That being said, I've got nothing else. Sabrina sounds like she's good to go. We will see you guys on the next episode, or you'll hear us on the next episode. Peace.